most helpful book ever published will teach everyone how nature creates people's personalities with the meaning of ratings. What is the meaning of ratings? Well, fortunately, for this great work of literature, this is the unique situation that this material is placed in because of its very nature of being something special that doesn't fit into the traditional classification of the concept of ratings, but rather instead takes on a meaning of its own beyond the typical meaning of what most of us expect as ratings. You see, the most helpful book ever published will identify itself to you as being a type of literature that really goes beyond what the idea of any type of ratings attempt could try to achieve in labeling such a great work as this new science, mostly composed of important reference material exposed for the first time ever. So what does this concept of rating actually mean? What should be said about ratings here? In the first place, you see, unlike trendy bestsellers, this incredible reference material about the secrets of personality is built to last simply because everything here is based on facts. While not really rated but often trusted very much for accuracy, not ratings, but rather meant to inform or guide, not to be a cover-to-cover reading, evoking strong reactions, although at times this great work of literature will do that outside of being the typical traditional reference book. In fact, the fascinating material covered is so rewarding it exceeds any kind of a rating. What you will get out of the most helpful book ever published is so valuable in scope to your success that any kind of ratings here would really not be enough, but only a feeble attempt to amplify something so special here. You simply could not rate this rare work of literature here high enough, as this is a new scientific discovery that no mind has ever touched, all revealed here for the first time towards your success, and nothing can get better than that. This is a very rare opportunity for everybody to benefit from. Every attempt was made to reveal important scientific discoveries translated as simple as possible, taking 10 years to publish this material so that the quality would be so high that people would easily understand this fascinating material. To be perfectly clear, this is a new science resulting from direct observations rather than a science that is created. This is strictly a camera on nature concept. This means the impact quality of this work of literature is terribly outstanding because it is not an invention of a theory from scratch, but rather an illuminating of a hidden truth of nature, a real camera on nature capturing real actual observations and positioning these observations where others can learn, apply, and grow from, and that is the very spirit of what this incredible work is all about. It represents not only a mastery of knowledge here, but the ability to elevate others through it. You will easily learn about these life-changing, groundbreaking observations which are now being revealed for the first time in an incredible work of literature called the most helpful book ever published, that is known for being popular on the internet with searches on Google and Yahoo to quickly find you, the most helpful book ever published. You only need to type into your search the words, the most helpful book ever published, or by typing in, Thomas W. Ente. This new science was written with strict, high-quality guidelines, as being more difficult than a doctor program at any university to achieve an official copyright for this remarkable material, presented to the United States Copyright Office and its officers. The fascinating point about this great work of literature is that while not rated, it is trusted for accuracy, not ratings, but rather meant to inform or guide, not to be a cover-to-cover reading evoking strong reactions, although at times this great work of literature will do that outside of being the typical traditional reference book. The key point to remember here is that this incredible work of literature is not the type of traditional work that requires a long laborious reading from cover to cover resulting in strong reactions generating high ratings similar to a bestseller type of format, but rather equally as popular in a more powerful way, because this great work can be trusted for accuracy and is meant to inform or guide because of its unique scientific discoveries revealed here for the first time, found nowhere else on the planet. Rather than containing a profile with strong emotions and high ratings, but rather a rare work not really associated with ratings, but more of a scientific reference book equally fascinating because of the exciting discoveries revealed for the very first time in its charts, tables, and reference tools, making the material equally thrilling as if it were one of those high-rated novels with strong attached emotions to really move readers. From this very special quick tip, remember this: Discussed here is the interesting concept of ratings and how this relates to special works of important materials and even works of great literature profoundly noticed especially in this new science of personality. A science so new and special for not rated types of reference materials with a unique exceptional meaning of its own that shapes some materials like this one into an entirely rare class of literature that stands out all by itself but is equally powerful in scope as being a new benchmark for incredible works of literature and is very special to bring us all fulfillment in life for a better understanding of each other. So how can this great work of literature help everyone to learn more about people's personalities? The core or body of this exciting material contains 8 chapters which describe and uncover the unique ways of how nature shapes us in a special way that improves your comprehension of understanding personalities to the point that you really can read people like a book, and in a way like never before. This means you will understand why people act and behave the way they do with their unique habits all shaped by nature. You will learn about nature's personality factory that creates personality similar to how an auto factory creates cars. 10 years went into writing this informative material. The official copyright was established and recorded in the United States in the year 2022. This is a very rare original work that can't be found anywhere else. The most helpful book ever published sets an example with the goal and desire to present a great work of quality material in a newly discovered science from the publishing industry to help others gain better health, wealth, and knowledge for a terrific future. This is a rare work that can't be found anywhere else. If you have a hobby or are a professional book collector or are thinking about starting a book collection, you can add value to your collection by collecting this first signature edition offered here. You don't have to read the whole book ever because you will only be reading the sections which pertain to you, as this will be explained with very easy comprehension to see that you won't be reading with much labor at all with mostly short readings. You only read what you need. This rare work of literature was written with the following strict guidelines which were more difficult than any doctor program at any university. First, it must be a new scientific discovery that no mind has ever touched. Second, it must be non-fiction. Third, it must receive an official registration of copyright by the United States government. This book is certainly very informative, and you will learn fascinating concepts to understand people better. This means no more struggling in your life trying to guess what you are good at, who your best companion is, or what career you're cut out for. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. P.S. Thomas W. Anti searches on Google and Yahoo quickly finds you, the most helpful book ever published.